Good morning, all you lovely people. It is a gorgeous day in southern Maine right now. Starting to really feel like spring. I mean, it rained for the last 2 days straight, so yeah, spring has definitely sprung. I'm on my way into the gym. Slept in a little bit this morning. I was up too late last night, and now I'm feeling it today, so it's all right. It is what it is. Making the time to go anyway. Oh, Easter was yesterday. It seemed like it came really fast this year, but I was thinking about it, and then I realized that we are already in April, and it's just the whole year has just flown by. I don't know what it is, but just like a time warp. I don't know if that's just something that, like, as you get older and just time just feels shorter in general, because it just feels like I blinked and it was Christmas and now it's almost summer. And I think part of that is the time warp that you end up falling into when you're working a 9-to-5 corporate job. But I don't know, it just feels like time becomes less and less available every day. And that's kind of like what I'm trying to focus on for my day-to-day life too now is being far more intentional about how I spend my time. Being able to have that freedom to sleep in the morning, or scroll TikTok, or watch YouTube videos, or do nothing all day long. Yeah, that's a choice. That's an option. But before you realize it, you've lost 2, 3, 4 hours of your time just sitting there scrolling, and you haven't really done anything productive with your time. And I think that's honestly where a lot of entrepreneurs really fall down, is that they glamorize this idea of being able to work from home or work remotely, and being able to work for yourself has a ton of benefits. But if you are not disciplined about some kind of routine, then it could become a self-destructive way of living, where you're never going to see the success that you've been dreaming about, and which is just going to lead to more discontentment and unsatisfied feelings, and ultimately just ends up leading you right back to where you were when you started, which is back at a job. And if that's the worst thing that happens, then hey, there are far worse things that could happen in your day-to-day life. But what I want to do over the next few weeks is I really want to be intentional about setting up a life that I don't feel like I'm just going through the motions. I want to make sure that I'm scheduling my time at the gym. I want to make sure I'm scheduling time with the kids, for relationships, for one of my other passions, which is cooking, and all while still building out my own business, of course, because money's got to be made somehow. But it's just I've been thinking about it over the last week as I've been launching my own business, and just realizing that it would be very easy to backslide into bad habits of just doing nothing. And you could do that, and yeah, maybe there are some people that do that and are still successful in spite of that, sure. But that's not how I want to be. So it's a new Monday, it's a new start to the week. It's the season of resurrection and renewal, and everything is starting to turn green again, and that puts a smile on my face because green's one of my favorite colors. Actually, my favorite colors are very earthy, autumnal tones, but just things turning green again, and just feeling it warm up. Especially when you live in Maine, you get hit with that seasonal depression, and you don't even realize it until the sun actually starts to come out consistently again, and you're like, oh shit, this is what I've been missing. This is that vitamin D that everybody's been talking about. It's a good feeling. So anyway, gonna be hitting a push day today. Then I have some errands I have to run when I get done the gym, and then I have some stuff I need to do for my business, which I'm very excited about. I've got a lot of the more of the fun stuff out of the way, building a logo and coming up with a name and all that stuff, and I've got my LLC formed, I've got the banking and accounting information, all of that stuff taken care of. So now it's pretty much going back to the basics of networking, which a lot of people struggle with. I don't mind networking. I mean, networking is just talking to people. And what a lot of people always seem to forget is that you putting yourself out there to sell a service that you know that you can provide, you're not imposing on people. You're supposed to be excited about providing that service. So don't get in your own head and psych yourself out of what it is that you're providing, that you're bothering them or whatever. You're going to get 100 no's before you get the one yes, but you only need that one yes. And being able to diversify what you do for work as well, then you increase your chances all the more. So keep that in mind if you're looking at businesses. That's what I look at is I am never going to put all of my eggs in one basket again. I will never allow myself the risk of not having more than one source of income. And being able to leverage the skills I already have in the industries that I already work in or have worked in, that was crucial for me to be able to get to a point where I could feel like I could charge prices that I'm charging for my services. It's where I would not have been able to launch a business prior to now. I wasn't ready for it. Mentally or professionally, I didn't have the skills, and now I do. And I can bemoan the fact that it's time lost, that I could have been building a business all this time, and you know, I'm just that much further behind everybody else, or and just spiral and do basically just do nothing, because that doesn't do me any good to dwell on that. Or I can focus on the fact that now I have the skills I need to be successful in launching my own business. And you know, I've talked to my parents about it this weekend. You know, I've let my kids know, and everybody's been pretty supportive of it so far. And what's funny is that when you start having these conversations and talking to people, and you realize how many other people are in the exact same boat. That you know, we have a family friend who apparently he has his own laser CNC machine. So he's been on the side working as he's been providing like customized fire pits and customized metal engraving or metal sculptures, things like, you know, metal signs or fence posts, stuff like that. And you know, he invested in the equipment, and he's able to do it out of his garage, and he makes a pretty good side money doing that. And like, that ties back to what I've been talking about for the last couple of years, that I think that it's inevitable that everybody ends up being their own boss in the next few years. I think a lot of people are recognizing that the 9-to-5 corporate lifestyle is all bullshit. That there are so many people there, so many jobs out there that it's just busy work. It's just paper. It's just paperwork, moving numbers around. A lot of those jobs are going to get replaced by AI, but not in a way of like that job disappears forever. It will disappear and be replaced by people who can use AI and will get hired out by another company to do that company's numbers, because AI is not perfect. Trust me, as somebody who uses it a lot, there is a lot left to be desired in pretty much every one of those models. It can make your life easier, 100%, but it lacks the creative and critical reasoning. It's great for comparative analysis, but when it comes right down to making a decision of what's better, you still have to have that human input. So it's not going to fully replace people. I think people are way overblowing that, at least for now. You know, 10 years, who knows? When we have actual general artificial intelligence, it might be a totally different story then. But for now, the large language models, it's essentially just a much smarter Google search. And there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, people didn't stop using Google, and that's only grown. So anyway, getting off track. But point is that you know, lesson of the day is that I am going to be very intentional about making sure that I stick to a routine, to be disciplined in my own life, to be successful both professionally in my business and personally. There are some things in my personal life that I'm working on, that I have goals. I want to be able to travel East Coast, West Coast whenever I choose to. I want to be able to go on vacations. I want to have that freedom of being able to throw down my credit card at a dinner, going out to eat, and not have to think about what was being charged. I want to do that for the family. I want to be able to pay for my kids to either go to college or to start their own business, whatever path they choose to take. Because it's not like it was when I graduated high school and you have to go to college. Like, that was what was drilled into us. You had to go to college. That's not always the right choice. And, if my kids want to do something different, then I want to support that. So I want to build a life that supports not just my life, but the people around me. And that's very motivating. I will not fail. That's what I tell myself. So anyway, just about to pull in the gym, so I'll catch you guys later. Peace.